Welcome to another unboxing from Pushing Cardboard. Today we're going to have a look at Volume 4 of Old School Tactical, the Italian Theater. I just got this via Kickstarter, so we're going to have a look at the main thing that we got in the package, but there was also, you could get a few add-ons, and so I have, I'll save this one for a later unboxing, but we'll just show that it came. And then there's also a few other items that were just stretch goals. I don't know how many of these were stretch goals and how many were actual add-ons or things that I can't. What I'm trying to say is I can't tell the difference between what I ordered and what was a stretch goal. But anyway, maybe we'll have a look at these little add-ons first, and then we'll open the big box. So here we go. The first thing is it's called Volume 4 Bonus Americans at Anzio. So I think it's just a book of a little booklet of extra scenarios. It's not that thick, but we have a little info on the USA, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenarios. So there you go. There's that's a perfectly great little add-on for this game. Then we have these. I'm sure this is probably these were probably a stretch goals, because this doesn't look like anything I'd ever order for myself. But I think what these are is when you're using the map and the map board is only you're only using part of the map. You can lay these out on, and sort of put boundaries on the map to remind yourself of how much of the map you're going to use. They are, I guess these are neoprene. I think that's what you call it. Anyway, they look nice. They've got a a rifle or a machine gun from 4 different countries. And then finally, the other last extra is a couple of these mats, and these are they have turn track, victory point track, casualty point, and impulse point. And I imagine they're the same for both. No, that's interesting. Look, I was going to give Flying Pigs big kudos for having the Canadian flag, right? But it's completely wrong there. This the heavily stylized maple leaf that you see there, that didn't really come in use in Canada. We changed our flag in, I don't know, 66, 67, something like that. That's when we started using that maple leaf. Before, we used to use a stylized maple leaf, but the thing that had made me feel good about Flying Pig and their understanding was in this game, you can see the 2 flags in the corner there. There's the one on the bottom is what we call the red ensign, and that's what Canadians flew during the Second World War. That red ensign flag. We didn't. There's none of this. I mean, that looks like the 60s or the 70s, doesn't it? I mean, I'm happy with our flag. I think we got a beautiful flag, but it wasn't around in the Second World War. Anyway, there we go. So let's have a look and see what's in the box here for the actual box for Old School Tactical. As always, it comes in a huge box, like all the Old School Tactical games, thick, long, the whole deal. So let's get at it right away and see what comes in this box. Here we go. Okay, a little pack of six-siders as always. I think longtime players of the game will recognize these. These are they're cards that tell you give you all the information about specific units. I find them particularly helpful. Like the one that's on top here is they have them for all kinds of units. Like in there's for a Piat. They even have them for infantry. There's a rifle squad, but I find them most helpful for the AFVs. The other thing, we've got those cards, and then there's also special cards in the game as well. So that's the cards. We are up to version 5.75 of the rulebook. I have no idea what I don't have all the volumes of this series, so I don't know what I have no idea what my previous rule book is. I've always felt that this when I have played this game, the rule book has sort of bugged me. It looks good. The layout of it's fine. It's glossy paper, which isn't my favorite, but it's got a really good rules index, which is terrific. But the thing that drives me crazy is things like here, the stuff about initiative and the impulse system and how the game works. It doesn't start until page 12. It's rule segments 67 or 65, 67, 68. This is the heart of the game right here, and we have all this other stuff. Stuff that's totally important, but what we want to know is, how does the game work? Like what? I'll never understand a designer who doesn't put the sequence of play right up front, so that we can just, even if it's not a detailed sequence of play, just a condensed sequence of play, so that we can know what we're looking at as we look through the rest of the rules. So they haven't changed that, and that's a shame, because I know the first time I played this game, it took me forever to find this, because I'm not the type of guy who sits down and reads the rule book start to front. I look at the sequence of play, start playing, and then look up the rules as I need it. Well, if you can't find the sequence of play, you can't start. So anyway, that's a crappy piece of rules organization that Old School Tactical seems like they here we are, version 5 of the rules, and they're still hanging on to it. I guess they love that. Here's the playbook. So this should be the scenarios. Got some theater-specific terrain here. Some stuff for specific to Italy. Some theater-specific units. Oh, that's interesting that there was no Piats in any of the games before. I would have thought there would have been, but who knows? Anyway, let's see. We have a few scenarios. What have we got? 14 scenarios, so that's great. So that's they call it the playbook, but really it's the scenario book, I think, is more what you call it. Another a small package of cards. This is probably for the Italians or something, so no need to open that right away. Player aid card. Fairly thick paper. So we got a vehicle combat table and an infantry combat table, and Italian terrain. So these are specific to this game. And then here's the counters. These look nice. So we got commandos. We got Brits here. We got Churchills. Once you get closer look. There we go. They come into... Whoop! And they're already falling out because they are beautifully pre-rounded. So you can see they're eager to hop out and get involved. Here are German and Italian units. Ooh, there we go. And again, the backs. And then some markers. Probably, I mean, it's nice to have the British versions of the impulse markers, I suppose. But I think, oh, there we go. That's in focus now, I think. Most of these counters will already be in the anybody who's already got previous iterations of this game. And then the map board, and this is again not my favorite part of this system. I'm not even going to unfold this whole thing. So basically, what we have here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is about a foot by a foot and a half, and this folds out eight times this. But it's you can see it's one huge map instead of. I'd be so much happier if it wasn't fold out. If it was panels. If you just laid them side by side or something. Here, let's see if I can't zoom in so you can at least see what the map artwork looks a little bit like there. But yeah, this is never my favorite thing about this series is these giant maps. They just always feel like they're gonna rip or tear, and sometimes you're only playing on two out of the 8 panels. This one isn't double-sided. Sometimes they're double-sided, and although those have been a bit disappointing as well, because the one that I'm thinking of, it's double-sided, but it was just the same map except in winter terrain, and I've got no problem imagining winter terrain. I don't need to. I would have rather had a second map, a whole new set of terrain to play on. Anyway, that's everything that comes in the box for. Well, this is a counter that wanted to jump out. Everything that comes in the box for Old School Tactical Volume 4. This is from Flying Pig Games. I'm very happy to see it in them come to the Italian theater. We'll hopefully see a few more Canadian scenarios in the system now, which for my my own bias. But there you go. I look forward to checking this out. And as I said, there's also I don't know. I think I paid for this extra. For the Empire. I'll unbox this in a separate video, but it was part of my Kickstarter pledge as well. So we'll take a look at that next. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the podcast.